So when we talk about safeguarding in GP practices, this is naturally a very difficult subject to cover. I think most of it is because it goes against all of our natural expectations and instincts. We think that children are most safe with their parents and their family, and we think adults who are vulnerable are most safe in the care of their family or in the care of institutions who are there to protect and save them. Therefore, when we consider safeguarding in the context of a family or an intimate relationship or a caring relationship, it is really difficult to sometimes put away our considerations of safety and really think about people who suffered harm in the hands of the ones that are there to protect them. You should see a little representation of why primary care and GP practices in particular are so important for safeguarding. That representation is from the Royal College of General Practitioners, but it really talks about how unique the role of GP practices is in safeguarding, because nowhere else, in no other service, you will have a whole family registered and you will have access to snippets of their life and information that is relevant to them and relevant to the safeguarding processes around them. Therefore, getting safeguarding right at the level of a GP practice means that we can likely have safeguarding done well across the rest of the services. And when we talk about safeguarding, we don't just talk about those processes of immediate protection. So the ringing the police, the referring to social services is so much bigger and wider than that. It's about making sure that people who are or may be vulnerable are helped to access the right service and navigate what sometimes is really complicated health system and support services. Is making sure that we have the right processes and that we as practitioners that work in these settings are aware of what the processes are and how to use them. It's about noticing if someone appears more confused or appears under the influence of drugs and alcohol and may need extra support. Is about knowing who or knowing what normal looks like and spotting the abnormal. It might be picking up conversations and interactions in outside of the GP practice or in a waiting area. So it's about much wider and much bigger than just those active safeguarding and protection services. I thought it was also important for me to just go through who is who in the safeguarding world of GP practices. So it starts with all practice staff, and that is clinical and non-clinical. And then you will have a practice safeguarding lead, which might be the same person for adults or children, or two different people, and they must be clinicians. And then you will have a named professional for safeguarding, and that may be a named GP or a named professional. I introduce myself as a named professional for safeguarding children. I've got colleagues there at GPs that do exactly the same job. And then we've got the designated professionals, which work for the ICBs and really are the link between the GP practices and the rest of the health economy and the rest of the multi-agency in relation to safeguarding.